14. I am here to read you a poetry that I wrote about September 11th, 2001, and I hope you enjoy. Comment, rate, subscribe, and let me know if you want to hear any more poems that I write. September 11th, 2001. As I walk along the busy street, this is where many people meet, walking at the same paces and seeing familiar faces. Seems quite normal to me, and I don't have a single drop of glee. I had a feeling something was wrong. Terribly, terribly wrong. Hearing a sound come from the sky, I turned my eyes up high as a plane passes on by. I was utterly confused as this was new, and everyone seemed horrified by this view. Plane 1 tilted at an angle with building 1 entangled. People began to flee, and there was no sense of glee. Terror was starting to rise. There was horror in everyone's eyes. Smoke begins to billow out of the side, bigger than the ocean's tide. We all were floored at the sight that the plane hit at such a great height. People began to scream as this was not a dream. Running out of building 1 and 2, people's horrors just grew and grew. Time passes on by, everyone begins to cry. Not knowing what to do, no one had a clue. What seemed forever was only 10 minutes later. Plane 2 came in high and fast, causing building 2 to have a blast. More people started to flee like a swarm of busy bees. Everyone began to freeze. It was so quiet enough to hear a breeze. As everyone's eyes, including mine, were turned up high, we saw bodies jump and die. People still trying to save lives made our hearts take a terrible dive. Emergency teams were here and there, coming from everywhere. Teams scrambled inside for help. They heard everyone whelp. Then I heard something strange, which I am thankful it was within hearing range. Building 1 came tumbling down, causing a huge smoke gown. So I hid under a car which wasn't far. As I covered my entire face at such a quick pace, I tried to keep calm with all my might, as I thought I lost my sight. The ash and dust was thick and dark, darker than the grayest shark. There was silence, complete and utter silence. Still lying completely under the car, everything began to smell like tar. Then I felt the ground violently shake, and I thought it could be a quake. Once the smoke began to lighten, my body began to tighten. I felt an arm pull me out strong. I wasn't going to argue and say it was wrong. As I turned and looked in horror, I was horrified explorer. Both buildings were not to be seen, as this was a nightmare scene. Only piles of rubble and metal lay there. The sky seemed empty and bare. Time seemed to slow and stop. You could hear a pin drop. People began to form teams. Finding survivors was their dreams. Cries and screams were heard around. Everyone seemed to look down. Hours have come and gone for so long. The only sound I could imagine was a gong. Only one survivor was found living. He seemed to be really giving. Days and nights come and go. Everyone had to know. Weeks passed as the mess is clean. Not one person seemed to be mean. I am sitting underneath a park tree, slowly getting on one knee. Tears still can be felt. I look up to the sky and hoping nothing else passes on by. As I reflect on the tragic day everyone calls September 11th. Thank you for sitting and listening to me read my poem. If you cried during this video, I am sorry, but it's a way for me to help others kind of relieve their stress and their pain. But yeah, comment, rate, subscribe at the bottom. Let me know what you think of it. And yeah, I'll be reading more poetry and citing more songs on my channel. So yeah, thank you for coming on September